Hey, welcome to Scrub Mode, the podcast that sits at the intersection of gaming and monsters. My name's Julio. I'm here with my friend Jon.
Hello, it's me.
And today we're going to be talking about some mummies, right?
Yeah, man, this has been great because, well, I'll get into it, but there's a lot of different kinds of mummies.
A lot, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess only one kind, the dead kind, but...
Well, okay.
You know.
As opposed to
but
what?
They're from all over the world,
yeah.
You know. They're mummies from all places, you know. Mostly,
exactly.
I guess the most famous ones are from Egypt, you know.
Yeah, we'll get into it. But first, I want to do a Scrub Mode first here, which is like, we're going to talk about a news story the week it happens, and not 2 weeks later.
That's perfect. Okay.
All the usual caveats. I don't want to be too glib here, because like a dude did actually fucking die with the family, but the guy who's touring with Annabelle, Dan Rivera, they've said that he died of natural cardiac causes, and apparently had a history of cardiac issues.
Okay.
But
poor guy.
If I want to, yeah, it sucks. Also, the doll was not in the room with him, so we can confirm that Annabelle was left in a hot car. Which is really... Again, I'm trying to sort of point out the absurdity without making too much fun of the man himself, because this always sucks to lose a family member. But, not to play in the kayfabe space, but, like, an autopsy's not going to show up. Like, killed by a haunted doll isn't going to show up in an autopsy, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, you know, it's like... were they actually saying the doll killed him?
Yeah. So people were like, well, the doll killed him, which is like... actually,
the doll gave him a heart attack, basically.
Exactly. I'm like, that's like, again, I don't want to play in the space too much because it's disrespectful, but if I were to play in the space, doing a real O.J. Simpson here, if I did do it, if I were to play in the space, I think, like, it would Death Note him, right? Like, a psychic attack by a haunted demonic doll would look like a heart attack if that's how it were to do it, right?
Sure. I don't know.
There's, like, obviously there's some, bias going on here, because, like, if anything had happened to him, people would have blamed the doll, and a few episodes ago we talked about the weird Civil War where people were like, hey, I wish to break kayfabe. This is a cool dude, and it sucks that he's dead. And other people being like, don't you dare break kayfabe. This is the biggest push. This is the biggest thing Annabelle's done in decades. Haunted doll episode still coming later.
It's coming.
It'll be here for Halloween. But like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. Do you have a take on this, other than the fact that it's really funny that Annabelle got left in a hot car, probably?
I mean,
it's really sad that this guy had a family.
It's sad. I feel for the family. I feel for them losing someone, and hopefully, I don't know where to go from there.
yeah. Okay, we'll bring the mood up. Let's go back to fun stuff.
Yeah,
I'll stick the People article I'm quoting from in the show notes. Mummies.
Mummies.
What you know about mummies?
I know they're like basically a kind of zombie, right? In D&D, you know, like reanimated corpse used some kind of magic to do it.
Yeah, maybe we should just start with the D&D version. But yeah, a mummy is a preserved corpse, and lots of people done do it, and due to Victorians, now they are a very, very classic horror movie monster. Like, it's not a Dracula or a Frankenstein or a Wolfman, but I'd say it's one tier below that.
Yeah, the mummy.
I love mummies, don't get me wrong. I think they're great.
Remember the Disney mummy movie? What was it called? Oh, man.
I don't.
The one with the mummy skateboards.
Oh, yes. Under Wraps, I believe, which they recently remade.
Yeah,
with the guy who voices Patrick from SpongeBob is both the mummy and the stepdad, which I think is thematically relevant because not trying to the curtains are blue, a Disney Channel original movie, but It's about accepting these two strange men into your life, these new father figures, and having them played by the same guy is interesting to me.
That was nice, I guess.
I actually really like that one.
It's a funny movie.
Boy, this is going to be real early.
It's a very Halloween-y movie.
Yeah. Maybe that's what we should do this year for Halloween, is we should do a bunch of the DComs, the Disney Channel original movies that are Halloween-y, such as Halloween Town and the one with boogeymen.
Yeah. That'd be fun. You still haven't seen Hocus Pocus, have you?
Yeah, I've seen the one with the witches. Yes, I've seen Hocus Pocus many times.
You've seen Hocus Pocus? Okay, good.
I wasn't allowed to see it when it first came out, which devastated me. So I was like, it's too scary. But no, of course.
Did you see the sequel? The sequel.
I have not seen the sequel. People were like, take it or leave it, and I was like, I'm busy.
Yeah.
It's Halloween. I got other stuff to watch. What do you think?
I can see that. Yeah.
Did we talk about this in the Hags episode, or am I crazy?
We might have.
Okay.
We might have. But yeah, Halloween. Halloween's it's September. We're on the verge of Halloween. I'm excited.
Yes, September is always pre-Halloween in my mind.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to any September birthdays, but it's hard to go back to school. And when I was a kid, you're like, okay, yeah, this sucks, but in 60 days, it's gonna be Halloween.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah. Mummies.
Should we stop briefly to talk about the incredible 1990s Mummy movie that still holds up and slaps real hard?
Oh, with the one with Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie's great.
It's incredible.
It's so good. It's so good. And I can't think of what I like the most about it, actually.
I think, this is a hot take, I think it might be the last great pulp movie.
It was pretty great, yeah.
Because I don't think the two most recent Indiana Jones really hit the mark.
Yeah, they didn't really do it for me the way that this one did, yeah.
I don't think anybody else be doing pulp movies because they're kind of out of fashion.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
Is Jurassic Park pulp? I guess not. It's sci-fi.
Not really. I get pulp can be sci-fi, but
yeah, there's like a mood to it. You know what I mean? Like it's not Jurassic Park isn't trashy enough. It was written by Michael Crichton, who is one of the most prolific novelists, or not prolific, one of the most well-respected novelists at the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, pulp movies are great. Mummy was great. Brendan Fraser's great. It's strange how that movie like morphed into the Scorpion King movies.
Yes, Scorpion King, real historical figure, not played by Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Mummy is so like they should have.
How many sequels were there to that movie? I can't remember.
I think there were 3 because they had. Let's just Google it. Sorry.
Yeah, let's Google it, yeah.
The Mummy, 1999. Okay, fill the air while I look for this. Fill the air.
Okay, let's see here. I'm Googling myself, actually.
Okay.
Let's see here. Mummy 1999 film. Should I go to the IMDb?
Maybe that'll have it, because Wikipedia doesn't. Oh my gosh, okay, this is horrible. Okay, so...
Globe-trotting adventure.
We have The Mummy,
The effects were so good, too.
They were some of it doesn't hold up because it's 1999 CG, and if you watch it on an HD TV, boy, can you really see that some of the sets were foam rubber, but I think that kind of adds to it.
Yeah. The whole... I love that scene where he's like, he's like zombified, and he's got like the hole in his cheek, and the scarabs are flying around. Imhotep, and and one of the scarabs crawls into his cheek hole, and he chews the bug. Remember that part?
I think we've talked about this before. It's not a particularly kind portrayal. It's definitely a little bit like the scheming Arab trope in cinema. But Imhotep's a little Renfield guy whose name I cannot remember.
Oh yeah.
Who like when Imhotep quarters him, he like holds out a cross, and that doesn't work, and he like. Flips through all these different religious mantras and holy symbols, and he finally gets to the Star of David, and Imhotep's like, oh, the languages of the slaves. You'll be a great sidekick.
Oh, his name was Benny, I think.
Yes, Benny.
Yeah.
So I've discovered that there are only 3 Mummy movies. I thought there were 4, but you have The Mummy, The Mummy Returns, which I love the little green ghouls in The Mummy Returns stalking through the corn. There's a great Horror Nights maze based off that back in the day. And then we have Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, which I understand there are Yetis in, but I have not seen.
It would have been crazy if they had, like, if Mummy... I guess it did pretty good, but, like, if it had been a part of the Van Helsing, like, franchise...
I was reading my brain, because I realized as I was reading this, like, no, there was another sort of, like, gothic pulp story, and that was the Van Helsing, which rules.
Yeah.
It's not good, but it rules. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's fun. It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman, is in it.
I like Hugh Jackman, man.
I love me some Hugh Jackman. Some huge jacked man.
Yeah. All right, Mummies. 90 movie good. Go watch 90 movie.
Go watch it.
Don't watch Scorpion King. Do you have a hot take on the original, the 1930s and 40s Mummies movies?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I guess they're... I don't know.
My hot take, and I say this as a huge fan of the franchise, is that, like, the 1932 one, the original, not very good. Stick with The Mummy's Hand. That's the good one.
Yeah. The Mummy's Hand. When did that come out?
1940.
1940. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And apparently, according to this, Mummy's Ghost and Mummy's Curse released 6 months apart in 1944, which is brutal. Sorry, 5 months apart. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
That's insane. Okay.
That is insane.
Mummies, man, they come from all places, as the Monster Manual talks about. We all know what a mummy is. If you don't, I don't know what to do, but, like, preserved corpse, usually involving linen and spices, but not always.
Not always. Sometimes people get naturally mummified, depending on the conditions of the environment, right?
Yeah, exactly. I actually was going to skip over those, because I already had so many mummies, but famously, like, there's that desert, there's that graveyard in Mexico. God, I should have put it in my notes anyway. There's that graveyard in Mexico where there's just so much salt
right
in the ground that it mummifies people naturally.
Right.
There's the one where there's a chemical reaction that turns the fat in your body into soap.
Right.
And obviously you can just dry the fuck out.
Yeah.
Or freeze, There's Siberian mummies. There's a cute Siberian tiger mummy from earlier this year, or was that like last year? Did you ever see this?
I think I did.
It was so cute. People flipped out for him.
The mummified tiger cub.
The mummified saber-toothed tiger kitten.
Oh, I'm sad now.
Yeah, it's just a little guy.
All of them are dead.
He's just a little guy.
Just a little guy.
Did you know the saber-toothed tiger is your state fossil as a Californian?
That's cool. That's cool that it's our state fossil.
I'm going to Google mine real quick. State fossil of Washington. It's probably not going to be as cool as a saber-toothed tiger. State fossil, Washington. It's the Columbian mammoth. Okay. That's pretty tight, actually.
That is cool, yeah.
That's pretty tight. I bet all the Midwest states that used to be a shallow sea are all the cool big sea monsters. But anyway.
Yeah.
Mummies. Boy, there's a lot of mummies. They're integral to the Lost World and pulp genres. I love classic mummies. There's all sorts of mummies. Let's learn about mummies.
Okay.
All right, so if I were to pose you the completely unfair question of where do you think the oldest intentionally created mummies are from, where would you guess?
Egypt.
Yeah, I would have guessed Egypt too, but it's actually from the Atacama region of Chile.
Oh, wow.
I don't want to dwell here too long, but like that's also where we keep finding weird little guys mummified, and people keep saying that they're aliens, and they're actually just like deformed babies or stillborn babies, which is as cool as it is a bummer.
Yeah.
It's also where the Nazca lines are, which has been, like those big lines and drawings of spiders and monkeys and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like one of the most, the cruelest deserts on the planet, some of the least rainfall, and people realized that didn't take much work to actually mummify somebody here.
What part of the world?
Chile.
Chile.
Yeah.
There's deserts in Chile?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, just Google the Atacama. Atacama. It looks like an alien planet.
Oh, wow. Chile Atacama Desert. Is this that alien that we thought that we found?
Yeah, there've been like 3 of those at this point. But like Nazca lines are also here.
Wow, that's South America.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I really like
the. It's beautiful.
Yeah, the hummingbird in particular is like stunning.
Yeah.
Which is probably the first thing you'll get if you Google the Nazca line. Anyway, so the forebearer of those people, were called the Chinchorro people.
Chinchorro.
And they have mummies that were intentionally made as far back as 5050 BCE. So
5050 BCE.
Yeah, so like over 7,000 years ago, people were intentionally making mummies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there are some mummies that they can't quite tell. They think they might be intentional, but the current consensus says they're probably accidental. As far back as 7020 BCE. So 9,000 years ago. Maybe. Probably not.
9,000 years.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Parts of it really still hold up. This is the second episode in a row we've referenced Aqua Teen.
It will always hold up.
Yeah.
Aqua Teen will always hold up. It's just that perfect blend of like humor and like yeah.
I also think everybody knows a Carl.
Yeah, for real.
Is there a mummy episode of Aqua Teen? Probably.
Yeah, there's mummies in Aqua Teen. I'm pretty sure. Google that right now.
Yeah, why not? Excuse me.
What Teen mummy? Oh yeah, remember the oh yeah, this one where they find a mummy.
Okay. What year? Out of curiosity, if it says.
Let me see here. I can't. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to cut this all out. Let me see here. Aqua Teen mummy episode.
If it's too much of a hassle, we can just get back to history.
Yeah, let's get back to history.
Okay. So the cool thing about the Chinchorro mummies is they made them 3 different ways. As time went on, they kept figuring out new ways to make mummies. So the first one is the black mummies, which you take a dead guy, you cut off their arms and legs, you peel off all the skin.
All the skin.
You dry the guy out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, not unlike, Warhammer or Gunpla, you stick them back together. Then you reapply the skin, you give them a wig. Again, like Warhammer or Gunpla, you fill in the gaps with a goo. Not sprue goo, but goo made from white ash paste. And then the body was painted head to toe with this like black manganese powder. So they're I should give you images, but like they're pretty creepy looking. And then they all have little clay masks.
Okay.
Here you go. Tell me what you think about that mummy. Wait. There you go. Tell me what you think about that mummy. That's our black Chinchorro mummy, one of the oldest mummies we know.
Wow.
I like the no-face to it a lot. I think this is a very visually cool mummy.
I see. What do we know physiologically about these mummies? Like, do we know how old they were when they died, or like?
Boy, I didn't record that, but yes, we probably do because they're mummies. They're real well preserved.
I see.
This little guy's
pretty scoopy. Pretty spooky looking.
It's because they've been painted all black and the masks are sort of expressionless.
Yeah, it's hard to describe, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess it's like I see a lot of like string and rope, I guess.
Yeah.
Wooden rope and clay. Wow.
Yeah.
We'll have to include this in the show notes.
Yeah. The images will be in the all the sources I used. Okay, so next they had red mummies. So this technique involves making a bunch of little incisions in the person.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like sort of like famously, I'm not going to cover how the ancient Egyptians have done that. You can get better information from that from real Egyptologists. But, famously, right, they'd stick the spike up your nose and they'd turn your brain into scrambled eggs and pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do here, but with every internal organ in your chest.
Oh, wow.
Just take them all out through all these little holes they made.
Okay. I'm really glad I'm dead if this is
at
happening
this
to
point,
me.
yeah. Sounds pretty painful, except for being degloved, which occasionally sounds really nice to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, the red mummies, same deal. Put them back together, dry them out, deglove them, dry them out, reglove them, put a clay mask on them, bish bash bosh. You got your mummy. Just make sure to pack the interior with all these like good smelling herbs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then like some sticks to like strengthen it and make sure it holds its shape. And then they also sewed up all these little holes with reed cord, which means that these mummies have, on occasion, a bunch of little stitches on them, which gives them a certain vibe.
Yeah.
Also, black mummies painted black, red mummies painted red.
I see. Okay. That's the only difference.
Well, and the fact that it was a bunch of little holes.
I see.
They don't look too different to me. Here you go. You can still tell it's like the same culture, but their techniques have just evolved.
Right. Yeah, they're doing different things. Doing something different. I'm wondering how old these people were when they died. They look young. They look small.
Yeah. I don't know if that's just because there's not a lot to eat in the Atacama Desert or what, but
yeah,
I was focused on the mummies, not the individual cultures as much.
I see.
But yeah, cool stuff. I think we can agree. But like all of us, as stuff is wrapping up, you start to get lazy. So by 1300 BC, they just really simplified the process. So they were like, no cuts, no organ or limb removal, just cover the entire body with mud made from eggs and dirt. Sculpt in some little details like they did for the masks, and you're done.
I see.
Let me see if I can grab you a picture of that guy real quick. But yeah, I would say less visually impressive than our previous guys.
I see.
But the faces remain. These clay masks.
Right.
I guess you got a favorite. I don't know how to end this segment.
I don't think I have a favorite, but it's definitely crazy how old these individuals are.
Yeah.
How long we've been doing this, how long we've ritualized, how long we've had these rituals,
Yeah, it's a very good point. Like, it's always been...
ever since the beginning,
Death is hard,
Mm-hmm. People have been dealing with it in different ways for millennia.
Yeah, and yeah, we got some more of those ways today.
Yeah.
So I've maybe mentioned him because I think his tattoos are sick, but have you heard of Otzi?
Otzi? Yeah, I think I've heard of Otzi. He's got some of the oldest tattoos we've ever seen on an individual,
so
right?
he's the one unintentional mummy I'm going to include in here, but he has a story and a little D&D. He also has a curse. So, so somewhere between 3350 and 3105 BCE, Otzi is in the Alps that separate Austria and Italy. We're not quite sure what he's doing. He may have been looking for food. He may have been actively engaged in a war against another tribe. But he is shot in the back.
Wow.
Yeah. An arrowhead shatters his scapula. And he fucking eats shit. He dies. He gets covered in ice and snow. And then some very unlucky German tourists hiking in the Otzel Mountains, which is where he gets his name, come across the body in 1991. He is still frozen in ice up to like his chest. And they think he's so well preserved, they're like, shit, this is a recent murder.
Oh, I see. So they think he's like a recent murder.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, what a bad day.
Yeah. So they call the cops and everything.
Yeah, so they call the cops, and the cops are like, so, good news. Someone was murdered. Bad news, it wasn't recent. Maybe I get that flipped, but they're cops, whatever. I guess I should say that, like, because we are in the Alps, they don't contact the cops. They contact the gendarme.
The gendarme.
Yeah, which are just European cops, basically.
I see.
So this is allegedly where the curse starts. The cops show up. They attempt to dig Otzi's lower half out of the ice, but a mysterious, I don't know how mysterious a snowstorm is in the Alps, a mysterious storm rolls in and forces them to leave him alone.
Okay.
They come back and try again, and this time they use like an ice pick and a drill and shit, and they do, like, they get archaeologists in tow, but they do a bad job. They break his bow, they break a lot of his shit, they hurt him.
Oh man.
So like allegedly this is where the curse starts. So if they didn't piss him off before, if they didn't get the warning, they get it now. An Austrian journalist who was reporting on it died of a brain tumor. The following year, Konrad Spindler, who's the scientist who first inspected Otzi's remains and was like, the curse is not real, died of complications from multiple sclerosis. And then, I guess we should probably talk about curses.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, and then Dr. Tom Loy, who is a DNA analyst and was like writing a book about Otzi, died at age 63, unexpectedly in his home alone. I'll take a quick pit stop. Right, it's getting spooky and saying like curses aren't real.
Yeah, curses aren't real.
It's not like these guys were choked to death by a mummy. They all died in different ways. And if the curse was real, the fucking cops would have gotten it, not these 3 scientists,
Yeah.
It's really easy after... Have you ever heard of this thing called the Texas sharpshooter fallacy?
Yeah, it's when you shoot a barn, then you draw targets on where you shot.
Yeah, exactly. You got it exactly. So, like, after something has happened, it's really easy with hindsight to just only select the parts that landed where you want and be like...
Yeah.
But anyway, Otzi is cool. He's got rad tattoos that I think about getting a lot of the time, and my wife is like, probably a bad idea, man. He got shot in the back. They didn't help him.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, he's cool. He's well preserved, and we still don't know who killed him. But he was definitely killed by another person.
It's funny. I don't know if I want to say curses aren't real. Curses, I know, they're scary.
Fair enough. I'll say that, like, true. I don't think Otzi was cursed. Otherwise, different people would have got it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't think he's cursed either. I think he's just a dead guy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Next, we move to Aztec mummies, which are famous because they look really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So they are mummified in a seated position and then put into a bag, and then they put a big gold elaborate mask over their face. Right. There's not like a whole lot of like interesting techniques going on here. You know what I mean? This is pretty standard stuff. But like they just look really sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. Real Aztec mummies. I'm trying to Google it. It's a bunch of pulp stuff.
Yeah. Again, people, if you have a pyramid, you've got to have a mummy inside.
Yeah.
And the Aztecs had pyramids.
They did. I don't know if I would call it a pyramid, really, because it's not like
I mean, like they're pyramid,
not. But they're temples.
They're temples. We'll do the. I mean, they're called step pyramids. It's more of an Aztec thing, but like
right.
There's like this whole like Graham Hancock conspiracy thing. It's like, how did all these different people invent pyramids? Oh, white Atlanteans must have taught them how.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, buddy, what's the easiest way to stack a shape on top of another shape?
Put the smaller shape on top of the bigger shape.
And then put a smaller shape on top of that, and bish bash bot, like bing bang, there you go. That's how you make a pyramid. If you've ever stacked blocks or quarters or D&D dice where you're bored at a table because somebody is like just really obsessed with a clue, it's clearly not a clue. Someone's taking too long to read their spell list. You've made a pyramid. Yeah. It's very basic physics.
Yeah.
So Incan mummies are next on my list, and they are particularly tight because of how they were treated culturally.
Mm.
Same sort of like bag, ritual mask, and stuff like that. But like the at the height of the Incan Empire, the whole point of the mummies was like when you died, you weren't gone. You were just like mostly hiding out in the other realm. So, like, you kept all your shit you had while you were dead. And 2 of your children got upgraded to be speakers for you. But that meant if your dad died, you couldn't inherit any of his stuff. There was no inheritance, so you had to go get your own stuff.
Okay.
So there are theories that this is why, like, the Incan Empire expanded so fast. It was a huge empire over some of the like roughest terrain imaginable. The Incan mountains, the jungles of the Amazon, the deserts. Like we were just talking about. And they managed to conquer this all and build a huge system of roads. And like one of the theories is like, well, yeah, you had to go conquer another kingdom because you could keep any of the loot your dad got from conquering the last kingdom. So each sequential Incan emperor had to keep going further and further and further, going into weirder and weirder places. And this was like a worship of ancestor mummies was like a popular thing here. So like one of the tricks that the Incan Empire did is like when they conquered you, they'd be like, "We're taking your dad, your dad, your mom. They're our hostages. We're taking their mummies. We're building big, fucking badass necropolises only in Cusco." So, if you ever want to see your parents again, you have to travel to the capital city and talk to the emperor. And so that's a great way to get people to come back to the capital and pay their taxes once a year.
So they hold your ancestors for ransom.
Yeah, and like in huge necropolises, it's so cool.
Wow,
I had no idea. It's fucking so cool. I also love that like the king is dead, but he's still in charge.
That it's very Warhammer-y.
Yes. Oh, I don't know if you ever read it, but there's a great short story in one of the old Tomb Kings, who are the Egyptian mummy faction book, where an explorer like does the pulp thing. He gets caught. He thinks the Mummy King's gonna behead him, and at the last second, he's like, "Hey, Mummy King, I did this because my wife has the plague. I'm sorry. I tried to steal your magical lotus blossoms," and the Mummy King is like, "Oh, my living servants didn't tell me that. Oh, yeah. I guess living people can die of plague. You know what, bro? Just take it. It's fine." I had a wife too once. She didn't make it past the mummification process, but yeah, I understand, bro. It's a great little short story. But yeah, I love the idea of undead. Very fantasy, right? I don't want to not be cool to this extremely real culture, but extremely fantasy coded to still have your dead kings ruling from their towers that the living never get to enter,
Yeah.
Except for a few chosen speakers, and the dead kings are all still in there ruling, and they're like, "Yeah, we care deeply about our living subjects." I'll go through 10 generations of them, I have the foresight to do like really important projects because I'm going to live forever. I want to make my empire the best I can. I might be an immortal god that eats souls and hearts, but I want to make sure that their bread prices aren't too expensive. I don't know.
It's funny.
It flims my flam. I really like this.
It's great, yeah.
But yeah, each mummy was meticulously cared for by like a group of women who like brush their hair and clean them and stuff like that. You were supposed to leave them food. You were supposed to go get dinner with them routinely.
Right.
So you'd be like, "I gotta go see my dad," and you'd go to the necropolis. And he'd be mummified there. And like they really did like treat these guys as if they were still alive. Like you had to get approval from your mummified parents on stuff like marriages and stuff like that. If you were the emperor, you had to go talk to your dead dad, who was technically still emperor, to see if it was okay to make Julio the new minister of finance, or if he still had some beef even though he was dead. Like so interesting to me. Really fascinating.
It is interesting, yeah.
That was like my favorite thing I found here. Not to like, but I had no idea they had, like, I knew there were Incan mummies.
Mm-hmm.
Like famously, we found some like human sacrifice Incan mummies. They were like, I think they were unintentional because they were frozen, but I had no idea they had this much of a mummy culture. It's so cool.
It is interesting, yeah. It's crazy how like across the world, from Egypt, people were kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah. Like we've hit the Americas, we've hit Egypt, which is, Africa, and the Mediterranean. I got some Asian mummies on here too, and we're about to go to Western Europe for some mummies. Like it really is very widespread.
All over the world.
Yeah. I guess the new Monster Manual makes this point, but my point with this episode is like, I love Egyptian mummies, I love pole, but like you can put your mummies anywhere. They don't need to be in the desert.
You really can. Have
Yeah.
you heard of a movie called The Aztec Mummy versus the Robot, or Robot versus Aztec Mummy?
No, is it? What
It's
year
a,
is it from? Because that will heavily.
I
If
think
it's
it's
like
from
an El Santo film, I'm really in.
it was on the Robot versus the Aztec Mummy. Say, let me see here. It's a 1958 Mexican science fiction horror film directed by
Let's
Rafael
go.
Portillo and starring Ramon Gay and Rosa Arenas.
I've not seen this, but this sums up. Like I love all the El Santo films and stuff like that. So this
Yeah,
sounds like it's very similar to that.
yeah.
Sorry, what's it called again?
The Robot versus the Aztec Mummy, 1958.
1958. That's oh my god, that poster whips.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's like I guess an Aztec mummy. It's like a crypt keeper guy emerging from a pile of bones,
Yeah.
reaching towards, of course, it's a 1950s sci-fi poster, a hot lady, and then in the upper corner is a really good classic 1950s robot who is holding some sort of space lady under his arm.
Yeah.
So the film seems to be, God, oh my god, the costume is great.
Yeah.
The mummy's fine.
Yeah.
The robot's really good.
I don't know. Just
Apparently there's a man. I don't know how I missed this because apparently there's a MSTK
yeah.
robot versus the Aztec mummy.
Yeah, they were on that show. MST3K. Yeah.
Oh my god.
They watched it in 1989.
I'm gonna go track this down. This is really on my alley.
Yeah, for real. It's definitely old.
Yeah. I don't know. I really love the like 50s and 60s, like I said, Mexican films, like all the Santo films, Vampira, like a lot of that is like goofy but so fun.
It's very goofy and fun. Yeah. But yeah, just a little side note. I was when I was googling Aztec mummy
it came up. Hell yeah. I've got to go back to my tab. Sorry, I lost my place. Right, bog mummies.
Bog mummies.
Bog
These are
mummies.
the Asian mummies?
This is the European mummies, so mostly in like Denmark, in the UK, in Ireland, and stuff like that. But man, anywhere you got low oxygen bogs, you can get these guys.
Wow,
and they look pretty crazy too. Yeah, PAT. I guess you could just Google bog mummy. So because they're in these highly tannic environments, which is the reason they're preserved, because it's too acidic for the bacteria to eat them. It makes them stained really black.
Right.
So they look like shadow people or something. And I think of all the mummies we've seen so far, the faces on these guys are some of the best preserved I've seen. It's very eerie.
Yeah, it's like they're sleeping almost.
Yeah. But yeah, so a peat bog it's a really tannin heavy bog. You know what peat is. Maybe you don't know what peat is.
Peat is dirt, right? It's kind of dirt.
Yeah, it's a type of like loamy earth, like I said, that's high in tannins, and it has enough stuff in it that you can burn them. So like, there are all these miserable stories from like the UK of like you ran out of firewood and you had to go dig a big slab of peat out, and burning the peat smells terrible and it makes all this smoky fire that's not very warm, but better than nothing, you know.
I see.
But yeah, so like the oldest bog mummy dates back to 8000 BCE. This one's probably not intentional, but it's the Kjolbjerg man. He was found in Denmark. He has no clothes and seems to have come to a violent end.
Is that the one with the noose?
I don't think so. I think that's a different guy. Maybe that is that guy. Let me double check.
He's got like a rope around his neck.
Yeah, that's the most famous one. Let me double check who that guy is or where he was found, because that face specifically is like you can see the wrinkles in his forehead. You can see his lips. Like that is apparently the Tulund man from the 4th century of Denmark.
I see. Okay.
So he does have a noose around his neck, which does lead me to my next point, which is that a lot of these the ones were thought to be human sacrifices or, what you did with executed criminals. Which, like, hey, again, I want to be respectful. These are real people, but boy, that sounds like a good D&D mummy. An executed criminal who's come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them were stabbed. A lot of them have hoods or nooses, like you said. Pretty creepy, pretty ancient,
Yeah.
And there's appears to be a bog body, is the mummy in the new Monster Manual edition. Moving right along, we get and God, my Japanese has already all left me, so I apologize. My Soku Shinbutsu mummies.
Wow.
Have you ever heard of these? They're sometimes called Buddhist mummies or honey mummies.
Buddhist mummies.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So this is crazy in that.
Oh wait, no, I have heard of these. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you know?
They're monks, right?
Yeah, they're Buddhist monks
who have, I believe, like when they were alive, they start going through when they start trying to mummify themselves while they're still alive. To start eating like leaves and stuff.
Yes, so that's 100% correct. It's a strict diet called mukujikyu or mukujiki, which is literally translate to eating the tree.
Right.
So they just eat like leaves that have preservative stuff in them and honey, which is antibacterial. Right. And they die of starvation while also mummifying themselves. And as you pointed out, the crazy thing to me is this is the only mummy that, and I'm sure there have been some other cases, but this is the only mummy we're going to talk about today. It's pretty rare. This is somebody who mummified themselves.
Right.
All these other ones are accidents or had other people mummify them. This is a guy who's like, I'm going to get a head start, which is...
Is there only one, or is there...
No, it was a whole practice.
Right.
Apparently it was somewhat common with the specific Buddhist sect, sort of like in the northerner parts of Japan, and it like still happened until 1879 when Emperor Meiji banned it.
Mm-hmm.
Meiji Revolution, get rid of the samurai, really quickly imperialize ourselves so that we don't get rocked by the Europeans again.
Mm-hmm.
Go watch the excellent I'm only saying this because my dad worked on it. Go watch the excellent documentary film The Last Samurai to learn more about the... Don't do that. They're better. I can't talk about it, but there's not Tom Cruise, but the actual guy who led the rebellion against the Meijification period. In the last years of his life, he got elephantitis of his balls, so he was like literally fighting on the battlements with a wheelbarrow carting around his balls.
Holy crap.
Yeah. There's a whole... Oh my god. There's a whole QAnon-style conspiracy theory, too, that, because people obviously like the samurai, or at least the samurai like the samurai, so, like, when he was executed, it was like he secretly wasn't executed, and he was hiding in Russia. He's going to come back. And then this led to when Emperor Nicholas, the ill-fated Tsar of Russia, who would eventually get killed and be the last Tsar of Russia, came to visit Japan and got a sick tattoo. Which he did actually do. He got a sick tattoo when he was in Japan. A crazed policeman tried to kill him before he could reinstate the shogun.
Wow.
And actually managed to dome him with a sword, but because swords were banned, it was not a very good sword. It was like a prop sword. But like, again, one of those natural history things where like, what if a crazy Japanese policeman had killed Tsar Nicholas before, the Communist Revolution, before World War I and stuff like that? Like, how different would the world be? Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, these monks, would mummify themselves, and that is quite the religious dedication, and I find it a little spooky.
It's a little spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anything for enlightenment, I guess, or whatever. Yeah.
I like that this was a big enough problem that Emperor Meiji was like, I can't be...
Now, I'm looking at some of these Thai monks. There's a monk in Thailand, I see.
Yeah.
I don't know if they put sunglasses on him or if somebody or if he died with the sunglasses on.
That would have to mean he's pretty recent.
Yeah. I just googled like Buddhist mummy and one of these.
Excuse me, let me see if I can find this guy.
Yeah, look up Buddhist mummy and you'll see one with sunglasses.
Yeah, it's the first image.
Yeah.
Weird. A
His
Thai
name is
Buddhist monk who
Luang
died while
Pho
meditating in
Dang.
1973. Well, that doesn't help. The sunglasses could be his, or they could be someone else's.
Yeah.
Oh no! Ooh, this is horrible.
What?
In 2023, they X-rayed him. And they discovered that a family of geckos had laid eggs in his throat.
A family of geckos.
Okay, wait, this solves it. He was perfectly intact, only his eyes had rotted, which is why the monks put sunglasses on him so that children wouldn't be frightened, according to this Wikipedia article.
I see.
My Thai is worse than my Japanese, but this is Luang Pho Dang.
Yeah. Luang Pho Dang.
Yeah.
A Thai Buddhist monk who died while meditating in 1973. Wow. Okay, so they did put the sunglasses on.
They did put the sunglasses... He's old enough to have owned sunglasses, but they did put the sunglasses on him so that he would not scare children.
I see.
Understandable.
Understandable.
Sucks about the geckos.
I don't know. I mean... I don't know how I feel about the geckos.
I just don't like the... I mean, as a Buddhist, maybe that was good. Maybe he... I don't know a whole lot about this specific sect of Buddhism, but like maybe providing a safe home for another living thing was something that made him proud. I don't know. I can't. I'm certainly not the person.
You can't speak for the mummy.
Yeah. It's the use of the word eggs in his throat there that really didn't do it for me, but who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have here a third mummy from this time from the Philippines. Did you know there were mummies in the Philippines?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm not surprised.
These are the fire or Kabayan mummies, which come from the Igorot culture.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to you to hope to fix my pronunciation.
Let me see the words. Can I see the words?
Yeah, here, I'll just copy paste that note. And by copy paste, I mean copy paste.
Copy paste. Copy paste. Fire or Kabayan mummies from the Igorot culture of the Philippines. Yeah, I think so. I think that's right.
All right, I'm a quote here. What makes the fire mummies unique is their mummification process, which would begin shortly before a person died and consisted of ingesting a very salty drink. So again, like some parallels with the honey mummies.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
After death, the corpse was washed and set over a fire in a seated position, drying the fluids. Smoke from tobacco was blown into the mouth to dry the body's internal organs. Eventually, herbs were rubbed into the body. And then they were placed in a coffin made of pine wood and laid to rest in like rock shelters and natural caves. And these guys are actually pretty old. I know by mummy standards, if I say 2000 BCE, that doesn't seem very old compared to like the 8000s and the 7020, but that's still 4,000-year-old mummies that hang out in the Philippines.
That was like 2 Jesuses ago.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
man.
As I'm looking at the time, I'm really glad I cut down this next section. Okay, so Victorians get into mummies. You could hear about this. You probably learned about this in history class. Julio, I'm not joking. I literally wrote this section 3 times before realizing that you probably don't need the entire history of the ancient Egypt to understand why a bunch of white people went crazy for this shit.
They thought it was the coolest.
They thought it was the coolest, and I kind of agree.
Yeah.
But this is how mummies make it into D&D, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Europeans want Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Napoleon is like, hey, we need some of that Africa. I'm going to invade, but I'm going to take a bunch of scientists with me so they can document all the cool new shit I'm finding in my cool new colony. Both for science, but also to like convince people that this is a good idea. Which, like, that does slap. We're thankful to Nappy B for doing a bunch of early actual science.
I guess so, yeah.
But you know who always hates France?
The English?
Yeah. So the English come in and they're like, we're gonna colonize the shit.
Yeah.
So they roll in, and meanwhile the Ottoman Empire still technically owns all of this, and they're like, "Can you guys stop? I'm busy over here, but can you guys leave one of my most important cities alone? I'll get to you. Hang on." So the British roll in, and they team up with the Ottomans and the Mamluks, and that's a whole other thing. They're slave soldiers, they're really cool. And they kick the French out of Egypt, and then the British never trust the British, because the British turn around and they're like, okay, don't worry, we won't conquer this place, but you do owe us. And so they kept hanging around, doing the colonial thing, until an Egyptian soldier was sick of the British hanging around and doing nefarious shit. He's like, we need to kick them out of the country, they're slowly taking over. He starts a rebellion, and then the British are like, I can't believe you'd start a rebellion against us. Now we're going to have to actually conquer this place. Hey, who do we know that's white and also loves conquering Egypt? France.
France, right.
In a rare British-French team up, they're like, well, let's split Egypt.
I see.
So the Brits, with help from French, use the revolt as pretext to invade and enforce law and order for the good of the Egyptian people and the economy and their shareholders. And but I hate how familiar that sounds.
Yeah.
And they basically conquer Egypt and thus the Suez Canal, which is increasingly important for trade, and they own it from 1882 to 1952.
Okay.
And this is during that time. It's the Victorian time. The English are doing the thing where they're bringing all the cool shit back from Egypt, and they're finding all the mummies. And yeah, the British go crazy for it, and that spreads to America and Germany and France. And all of a sudden, everybody it's called Egyptomania. Everyone's going nuts for it. People are snorting mummies like cocaine. People are painting with mummies. It's a terrible loss for humanity. People literally they're literally pumping mummies into their veins. And so if you are an aspiring writer, you write mummy stories, because that's what people want to read.
That's just hot right now.
So did you know that Bram Stoker wrote a mummy story?
That figures.
It's not great, but he did. He wanted another hit.
I see.
Edgar Allan Poe writes a mummy story that's pretty funny, where they revive a mummy, and the mummy is just like, God, you guys are really, England and America's really fucked up. You guys are doing a bunch of fucked up shit. You're calling me primitive. You guys are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even Lovecraft teams up with Harry Houdini, of all people.
Wow.
To write a mummy story where Harry Houdini breaks into a tomb and fights mummies.
Wow.
People cannot get enough of this shit. So you know how it is. We roll into the 1920s. People are still on their mummy shit. I'm gonna skip past again. You guys know the Pharaoh's Curse. Every other podcast that talks about mummies talks about this. I want new shit. They broke into the Pharaoh's tomb. A bunch of people who did it died. Also, it was white people in an area with a ton of malaria. They're gonna die.
They're gonna die.
They're gonna die. A power outage happened in a city where power outages happen all the time. Not that exciting. People are lapping that shit up. And you know, there's a couple of guys in Universal Studios who are like, hey, let's take this stage play, this Dracula stage play, and make it into a movie. And oh, it's a smash hit. One of the first talkies. It's 1931. People are crazy for it. And they're like, well, what if we just... You know what's really popular? Frankenstein. Let's do it again. And they do it again. And they're like, okay, how do we do this the third time? And they're like, well, everyone's really into mummies. Let's just do this shit again.
Yeah.
And they do, and it's not quite as successful as their other two films. But it's really successful, and now mummies are in movies, they're in TV, which will come along soon, they're in comic books, they're in, people love mummies. Mummies make it from all that shit into D&D, and now we've got mummies in D&D.
Yeah.
And I think they're a good monster.
They're great.
They've always had a unique...
Yeah.
If they touch you, you can get a magical disease called mummy rot that slowly turns you into dust, This is still maintained in 5th edition, and recent editions have even added a mummy lord, which is sort of like halfway in between a mummy and a lich.
I see.
It's got the Rotting Fist, it's got spell casting, it can summon a whirlwind of sand, like the great 1990s Mummy movie, it can turn into a bunch of sand. And if you're a first-time DM and you're trying to come up with a dungeon, that's what a pyramid is. add yourself the scarabs, add some mummies. You put a big mummy boss, giant scorpion. Like, it writes itself. It's very early D&D. The DNA is in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's mummy shit.
Yeah.
That's all I got for you. Do you have any final mummy thoughts?
Ah, man, I think they're great. I think they're it's like informed so much of like D&D's like magic, and so much of the like the lichdom of it all.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's, I don't think it's a stretch to say like the mummies with their various jars that are supposed to contain parts of their soul and stuff like that. Like, not a far jump to get from there to the Lich's phylactery.
Yeah.
Having part of its soul.
Yeah. It's interesting when you think about it that way, Makes you really... It gives you ideas,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. But thank you, John, for doing all this research.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Jesse Sanders, for making her music. We'll donate if you can. Tell your friends about us. We'd appreciate it. Check out our Patreon. I'm just going to put that out there. Send us an email. Rate us highly. We'll shout you out. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.